Smoking in campus area has long been a controversial issue discussed by students, the jurists, and administrators. In my opinion, smoking should not be allowed anywhere near a learning environment. The university is a place for education, knowledge, and healthy social interaction, not a space full to be cigarette smoke and harmful habits. First for all, smoking has harmed not only the smoker but also those around them. Secondhand, smoke can cause seriously health problems such as asthma, lung disease, and even cancer. Many students who do not smoke are forced to breathe polluted air when someone smokes in a classroom, hallways, or parking area. It's unfair that their health and comfort are justable just because of someone's bad habit. Furthermore, smoking ruins the image and atmosphere of the university. UPSI Kalimalang, for example, is known for its clean and modern environment that support creativity and productivity. When people smoke in open area or near campus building, it gives a negative impression to visitors, present, and even new students. A smoke-free campus looks more disciplined, responsible, and respectful of others. Another important reason to forbid smoking on campus is the impact and cleaning claims. Cigarette butts, ashes, and smoke stains can make the surrounding dirty and unpleasant. Maintain a clean environment is a part student responsibility to show respect to the place where they study. Having a smoke-free campus can create a more comfortable and inspiring atmosphere for everyone. To handle this issue, the university should strictly enforce the non-smoking policy and provide clear signs around the campus area. A campaign and seminar can also help students understand the danger of smoking and the importance of respecting others. Creating a small smoking zone from classroom may be temporary solution, but the main goal should still be completely smoke-free campus. In conclusion, smoke in campus area bring more harm than benefit. Its affect health, image, the learning environment as a whole. Every student should realize that a clean, healthy campus is shared responsibility. Let's make UPSI Kalimalang a smoke-free zone, place where we can study, breathe clean air, and grow into the better generation.
I will share my opinion about Indonesia versus Bahrain, which ended in a 2-2 draw. This game was full of emotion for falling behind, making a comeback to losing the victory in the final moment. Bahrain actually started the match quite well. They took the lead first with a free kick by Muhammad Marwan in the 5th minute. But what remarkable is that Indonesia didn't panic. Sintayong team stayed disciplined and began building attack down the wing. As a result, before the first half ended, Ragnar Oratmangun managed to equalize. The goal was extremely important, not just because the score was tight, but because it showed the resilient mentality that is becoming a hallmark of Indonesia. In the second half, the game became even more exciting. Indonesia grew more confident, controlling the ball and pressing forward. In the 74th minute, Rafael Struijk put the Indonesia ahead 2-1. Fans Indonesia in home stadium went silent. It was an incredible moment for all of us. But as often happens in football, the drama wasn't over. When everyone thought victory was inside, Bahrain managed to equalize in the 100th minute. For a stoppage time 90 plus 9. The score remained 2-2, and that result clearly felt bitter for the Indonesia player. Looking at the performance, Indonesia actually played quite maturely. The midfield with Tom Haye and Marcelino controlled the tempo, while the defense led by Jai Itzas and Rizky Ridho was also disciplined. But the problem was focus and time management. Toward the end, the intensity dropped slightly, giving the Bahrain room to attack from side piece. Something that need to be improved in future match. On positive side, this draw still has great significance. We were playing away against a strong team, and Indonesia managed to score twice against Bahrain. They show improvement in attacking quality and the courage to play openly on the road. On the other hand, losing the win in the final minute show that we'll still need to learn how to control the game until the final whistle. In conclusion, this match can be considered both a valuable lesson and a sign of progress. Indonesia national team has developed a lot, mentally, tactically, and in character. But if we want to go further in World Cup qualifier, focus and maturity in maintaining the result must be improved. For me, personally, this 2-2 result is still something to be proud of. We're not perfect yet, but the direction of play is right. The most important thing now is that the team learn from this moment, so that in the next leg, the victory that slipped away in the 100 minutes can finally be secured until the end.
Opinion about the new President Prabowo Subianto. President Prabowo Subianto, who officially began his term as Indonesia's new leader, has quickly gained significant public attention and support. During his first months in office, he achieved a high approval rating, around 18% according to a survey showing that many Indonesia have strong hopes for his leadership. One of his main priorities is social welfare, including the free nutrition meal program for school children and pregnant women, which affect his commitment to improving people's well-being. He also promised to fight corruption and build a government that works for all Indonesia. However, his intervention also faced several challenges. Many economists are concerned about the financial sustainability of large social programs which require massive funding that could strain the national budget. Moreover, critic point of his military background and past human rights allegations, warning that his leadership style may risk reducing democratic freedom if not balanced carefully. Another challenge is ensuring that his government can effectively implement policies and maintain good coordination across ministry and local government. In conclusion, Prabowo presidents bring a sense of optimism and national pride, especially with the clear focus on social program and people welfare. Yet, the success of his administration will depend on the whether he can manage the country wisely, strengthen democratic institutions, and deliver on his promise efficiently. If he succeeds in balancing strong leadership with fairness and transparency, his turn could make a positive new chapter for Indonesia.
My opinion about smoking in campus area, UBSI Kalimalang. Smoking on campus has become a common issue in many universities, including UBSI Kalimalang. I personally agree that smoking should be strictly prohibited in the campus area. A campus is a place for learning and self-development, not a place for unhealthy habits. First, smoking harms both smokers and non-smokers. Cigarette smoke contains harmful chemicals like nicotine and tar that cause lung cancer and heart disease. Even non-smokers suffer from second-hand smoke, which affects their health and concentration in class. Second, smoking gives a bad image to the university. UBSI Kalimalang promotes discipline and professionalism, but seeing students or staff smoking can create a negative impression for visitors and new students. Third, smoking also pollutes the environment. Cigarette butts often litter the ground and take years to decompose, making the campus look dirty and less comfortable. Therefore, UBSI Kalimalang should enforce a stronger no smoking policy by adding warning signs, creating smoking zones far from classrooms, and holding health campaigns to raise awareness. In conclusion, smoking must be banned on campus to protect everyone's health, maintain clean lines, and uphold the positive image of UBSI Kalimalang. Together, we can make our campus a healthier and better place for all.
My opinion about the controversial result of Indonesia versus Bahrain match. The recent match between Indonesia and Bahrain become one of the most tackle about games in Asian football, not because of the scoreline itself, but because of the controversy that surrounded it. The game ended in a 2-2 draw, but many Indonesia fans and players felt that the result was unfair due to the referee's questionable decision, especially the extended additional time that allowed Bahrain to score a late equalizer. In my opinion, the controversy clearly reflects a problem of fairness and professionalism in football officials. Indonesia played with great spirit and discipline throughout the match. They fought, turned the game around, and were leading 2-1 until the referees extended the match far beyond the 6 minutes of the time that were originally shown. When Bahrain finally scored in the 98 minutes, it felt like the rules were banned against Indonesia favor. For me, this is not only about one match; it's about sports integrity. Every player deserves to compete in a fair game where the same rules apply to everyone, no matter where the match is played. When decisions appear biased or inconsistent, it destroys the trust of both player and fan. Many people around Asia noticed this issue, and even international media questioned how the referees managed the match. However, I also believe that Indonesia should be proud of their performance, despite the frustration. The team showed progress, confidence, and strong teamwork. They proved that Indonesia can compete equally against stronger opponents. Instead of being demotivated, this controversy should motivate the team to perform even better in the next match, and so the word that Indonesia raised in football cannot be stopped by unfair judgment. In conclusion, the Indonesia versus Bahrain match taught us an improvement lesson about sportsmanship and justice. Football should always be about skill, teamwork, and fair play, not about controversial reverse decisions. I hope international football organization like EFG and FIFA will take this incident seriously to prevent similar unfairness in the future. For Indonesia, this match will be remembered not as not as a failure, but as a symbol of resilience, pride, and the spirit fight to fairness.
And
Good night.
Honorable Mystica and lectors. Okay, well now tonight we will present our English assignment. But before that, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Marco Mikael Haryanto. My name is 15250, and my friend will introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Rizky Ananda and my name is 1525032. And next, my friend is
Hello, my name is Herdi Arvino. My name 15250615. My friend gonna introduce.
Hello, my name Fasa Palensky and my name 152504992. Next.
Hello, my name Arsni Dava Prasetyo. This my name 15250282. Let's go.
Okay, well, since everyone has introduced themselves, let's start the presentation tonight.
I'm gonna presentation about simple present. Next. What is the simple present tense? The simple present tense describe habit, routine, facts, and general truth. It also used to fix schedule and instruction. Example, I go to school every day. The sun rises in the east. Next. Function of simple present tense. The express daily routine or habit. She read every night. To express fact or general truth. Water boil at 100 Celsius. To show timetable or fixed event. The train leave at 7 a.m. To give instruction or direction. Open your book, please. Next. Affirmative positive sentence. Subject plus verb 1. Subject I, you, we, they. Verb use verb 1. Example, they play football. Subject he, she, it. Verb plus cs. Example, she play football. Next. Next. Negative sentence. Subject plus don't or doesn't plus verb 1. Subject I, you, we, they. Formula don't plus verb 1. The example, I don't like the coffee. Subject he, she, it. Formula doesn't plus verb 1. I don't like the coffee. Next. Interrogative question form. Do or does. plus subject plus verb 1. Question: do you like apple? Short answer: yes, I do. No, I don't. Question: does she play guitar? Short answer: yeah, she does. Or no, she doesn't. Next. Next. Time experience in simple present. Common word. Every day or every week or every month. Always or usually or often or sometime or never. On Monday or in the morning or at night. Example: she always drink milk in the morning. She never watch TV at night. Next. Let's practice. She play the piano every Sunday. You like or not chocolate? He go to school by bus. They be good friend. I study English every day. Next. Thank you for presentation.
Nah, present continuous tense. Next. When we use the present continuous to talk about action happening right now or temporary action. Example: they are reading a book now. I am staying with a friend this week. My mom is cooking dinner in the kitchen. Next. How do you use positive structure? I plus am plus eating. Why add eating in the structure for all subject the verb takes ing? He, she, it plus is plus eating. We, you, they plus are plus eating. Next. Negative structure. I plus am not plus eating. He, she, it plus is plus eating. We, you, they plus aren't plus eating. Next. Question structure. Am plus I plus eating is plus he, she, it plus eating. Are plus we, you, they plus eating. Next. Attention! There are several spelling rules while adding ing. For most verbs, simply add ing to the base form of the verb. Do to doing, play to playing, study to studying. Next. For verb ending in drop the at and add ing. Make to making, take to taking, write to writing. For one syllable, verb ending in a consonant plus vowel plus consonant, double the final consonant and add ing. Sit to sitting, run to running, plan to planning. Next. For verb ending in change to the to ye and add ing. Tie to tying, die to dying, lie to lying. For verb ending in add key before adding ing. Picnic to picnicking, panic to panicking, mimic to mimicking. Next. Time to expression. Next. We usually use following time expression with the present continuous tense. Now, right now, at the moment, currently, this week, weekend, or month. Next. Thank you for listening.
Present simple, let's look at when we use the present simple verb to be in the present simple. Verb in the three early person singular and third pronunciation. How we make sentence in the present simple. Function. When do we use the present simple? He plays the cello. He is a musician. You can use the present simple to say that the that something is true in general. Next. And they usually go to concrete at weekend. You can use the present simple to say that something happen all the time of reper repeatedly. Next. And how often do you listen? We use the present simple to say how often things happen. Next. Ah, Form verb to be in the present simple. I am not, and am I. You are, you are, and are you. He, she, it is. Is, is, it. He, she, it, is. Is he, she, it. We, you, they are. Where, you're, there. We, you, they, earn, and are we, you, they. I'm a student, and you, are you a teacher? Is in interest in music. We aren't musicians. Next. How do we make a positive sentence in present simple? I, you, he, we, they. Like like subject plus verb. He, she, it. Like us. Three person singular plus verb plus s. I like music. She likes playing the guitar. Next. Verb in three person singular. S, us, and less. Visit, visits. What, watch. Studi, studies. Studi, studies. Most verb, verb that and in S, C, Ch, X, A. Verb that and in consonant plus Y. Next. Next. From regular verb in the present simple. Pronunciation. When a verb ends in a universal sound S is pronounced as or S plus no extra syllable. S like likes. When a verb ends in a vocal sound, then S is is frozen as Z plus no extra syllable. Swim, swims. When a verb ends in sound and an extra syllable with is was, washes. Next. how do we make negative sentence in the present simple? I, you, we, they. Don't like. Subject plus don't plus verb. And he, it doesn't like. Three-person singular plus doesn't plus verb. Like we don't like singing and she doesn't like dancing. Next, how do we make question in the present simple? Do I, we, you, they like? Does he, she, it like? When do we, they go? And how often does he, she, it go? Do you like listen to music? Uh, and how often does he go to congress?
Of frequency. This presentation aims to help students understand how frequency adverbs describe actions and improve sentence clarity in English. In this slide, I will first discuss the learning objective of this presentation. First, we will discuss the definition of adverbs of frequency. After that, we will talk about examples and their meanings, how to place them correctly in a sentence, and the common position of adverbs of frequency. The definition of adverbs of frequency. An adverb of frequency is a word that describes how often an action happens. It is commonly used in the simple present tense because it expresses habits or routines. Now, let's move on to the material about mentioning example and their meanings. Adverbs of frequency are adverbs that show how often an activity is done. These words help the listener or reader understand the frequency of an action in a sentence. For example, whether something is done always, often, sometimes, or never. Now, please take a look at the table on the side. Adverb of frequency, always, approximate frequency 100%. Usually 90%, often 70%, sometimes 50%, rarely 20%, never 0%. Example, the examples. Always. Example in sentence. I always brush my teeth in the morning. Usually. Example in sentence. She usually takes the bus to work. Often. Example in sentence. They often play badminton on weekends. Sometimes. In example, we sometimes eat dinner outside. Next, rarely. In sentence, we rarely see each other these days. Never. In sentence, they never go out at night. Now, let's move on to the discussion about how to place adverbs of frequency correctly in a sentence. First, before the main verb, use it when the sentence has a regular action verb. Subject plus adverb of frequency plus verb plus object. In examples, I always eat breakfast at 7 a.m. Or she often studies at night. Next. Second, after the verb to be. When the sentence uses am, is, are, was, or were, the adverb is placed after the verb to be. In examples, he is never late for school, or they are usually happy on weekends. Next, third, between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. If there is an auxiliary verb, have, has, will, can, must, should, the adverb is placed wait the adverb is placed between them. In examples, she has always wanted to travel abroad, or you can often see him at the gym. Next. Now, let's move on to the discussion about the common position of adverbs of frequency. Before the main verb, used when the sentence has an action verb, a verb that shows an activity. Example, I always drink coffee in the morning. Next, after the verb to be, is, are, was, were. If the sentence uses to be, place the adverb after it. Example, she is usually late for school. Next, after a modal or auxiliary verb, can, will, have, must, place the adverb after the helping verb but before the main verb. Example, you can often see him at the library. Next, these are some important notes about the topic of adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency are usually placed in the middle of the sentence, not at the beginning or end, except for emphasis or informal styles. Seldom, rarely, never can appear at the beginning with inversion. Main verb is adverb before it. Example, I always go. They often play. Use the adverb before the main verb to show how often the action happens. Next, to be. Adverb after it. Example, she is usually tired. Place the adverb after am, is, are, was, were. Where. Next, modal or auxiliary. Adverb in the middle. Example, you can often see him. Put the adverb between the auxiliary can, will, must, have, and the main verb. Next, avoid putting in the beginning of a sentence unless you want to add emphasis. Example, sometimes I go jogging. Next, use never and rarely with positive verbs only. These already have a negative meaning. Don't add don't or doesn't. He never smokes. It's true. He doesn't never smoke. It's false. Next. Thank you.